very real.
It is.
We have to do these things.
You gotta shuffle.
Yay!
All right. Hey.
Friday
Hey.
vibes. Hello, hello.
Hi. How's
Hi,
it
welcome.
going?
That's so much fun. So we're on my channel.
Yes, we're on your channel.
Fun. Welcome, Jillian.
Thank you.
Aren't we so excited that Lune Innate is with us today? I mean, for real. She's always with us, but for reals, here she is in SoCal.
Oh, yeah.
This is so much fun, and she's in my home here in the Circle of Mary.
It's
welcome
beautiful.
to my nest.
Thank you.
And welcome to my
it's
nest,
good to be back.
all of you beauties. This is fun.
Thank you.
Now, Jillian's the one who's actually wearing glasses today.
Yeah. I'm in charge of.
Have lost mine. They're out in the world seeing other things.
Yeah. I just want to ask and make sure if anybody feels open to responding to see like if you can hear us okay, or
that would be helpful.
Anything like that. I'm working on getting Angela the mic that I would suggest for her, but right now we're kind of operating off of like the computer built-in mic. Oh, Nicole, cool, thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you. Hi, Nicole. Yay, crosstown love to you, honey.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
I know,
thank
Nicole,
you.
I got a new machine, so it sounds nicer and it looks nicer. And you were here on Halloween, which was kind of like the maiden voyage for my machine. So
awesome.
I'm excited. So welcome, everybody.
Yeah,
for our nice little sweet tarot hangout.
Yeah, I'm going to pour you some tea.
Oh, thank you very much. And then, as is our way, we strike a wooden match and light a candle to alert our spirit guides that we're here. We're open and we're listening and we're ready to receive some messages that are meant for us together and individually. It's both. So you're really holding space in this little coven community for others too. So it's that wonderful feeling that you're not just here to receive. It's always nice to give and hold space for others too.
Absolutely.
We might have a little small experience of striking the match over and over because a broken nail in Joshua tree.
Oh, no.
And it's at that uncomfortable phase where you have to do other things, like not use that finger.
Yeah.
That worked.
You did it.
Yeah.
Oh,
so welcome, Jillian.
Thank you. Yeah, we're kind of flying today.
That's what we're doing.
We're flying. We just thought we would pull some cards and hang out and have a little opportunity to just collaborate. We filmed already a video for my channel. I haven't edited it yet. I'm going to do it when I get home. Oh,
hello. Pretending that didn't happen.
You out.
You can use my flame if you want to, or you can strike for yours. And then we'll also light a candle for everybody that's joining us either live, or I will be, saving this and you're joining us separately, later. Then the candles for you too. Good. Yay, you're doing it. And I need a little sip of this.
Yeah, I didn't know where to put it.
Very simple brew today. And I know folks will be wondering. Today, this is nice moon water.
I'm just going to light it.
Oh, good.
It wants to go.
It's ready to rock.
Conserving the match.
This is the candle for you all. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's ASMR. That's what that is. It's one big flick.
I don't want to get it.
Oh, it's perfect. Handled. So so this is the kettles filled with moon-infused water from our big Taurus full moon. And we just added a little bit of agave nectar and fresh ginger that wasn't shredded or anything. It was like a nickel-sized peeled ginger and cayenne pepper to soothe our throat. So cheers.
I'm a little raspy.
Welcome. I know Jillian's working hard out here. So much fun.
Yeah, I've been teaching some classes. It's been absolutely amazing and really eye-opening. And I keep getting a lot of people saying like, oh, you're coming back, right? Like we're doing this again. Please. And I'm like, really?
Yes, do that.
I came out to California with really, my main things that I wanted to do was go to Witch Walk, which is this Saturday.
We're gonna have so much
fun. Collaborate with you because the last time I came, we weren't able to. We were just so busy.
Well, we were collaborating then in a different
kind of way. Yeah. But I wanted like the
portal.
YouTube sauce, So I ended up just booking, just like, well, if I want to go out, maybe I can make a little trip out of it and get, work a little, open up some classes. So I was just happy to like cover the cost of like coming out, and to have so many people sign up and just connect with such amazing people has been truly different for me. So I mostly teach like one-to-one. So teaching these classes has been just so different and like like just so good. Like I'm like, whoa. I don't have to say I was missing out on anything, but it's just such a different experience.
So
like
correct me if
altogether.
I'm wrong. It's 3 nights in a row.
Yeah,
with
this is the third
slightly
night.
different modalities. So different levels each.
There's different
day.
levels of Reiki each day, but there's also different modalities like worked in, because I honor the tradition of the Reiki and the traditional like lineage practice, but I don't stick to it in a hard format. Yeah. I think that you have to hold the flame and like carry the torch kind of thing for sure, because or else then what? It's not Reiki anymore.
Yes. And
you don't need obviously to be Reiki certified to be a healer. That's not what I mean, but it is a nice lead in because it teaches you to channel, to take from the abundant source of unlimited energy versus like pouring from your own cup constantly. Yeah. And it's just a great foundation. So, but you know, I don't like to stop there. Like I'm nerdy. I love reading about like esoteric sciences, you know, sciences. Don't quote me on the science thing. Science. Yeah. That Absolutely. Kind of thing. And
I've
bringing it all in.
Saying science is magic and magic is science.
Sure, I'll say that.
Yeah, we're energy and it moves in unique ways. And I think that energy even is discovering itself and wanting to be discovered too. It's like we talk about how much of our brain we use, and it's a bit of a mystery too. I love how you're ready to go to those, you know, wild blue yonders and those unknown places with students and have it be in Reiki levels. Yeah, it's absolutely a rare special treat.
Yeah, I think it like you gotta make it your own in a way, you know, and it's nice that you can get comfortable enough to make it your own. I think that's like a very big milestone for any of us. Hi, I'm going to read the comments now.
Please do. So today, since Jillian's catching up on some of the comments, we're going to be doing some moon tarot. Today, the moon's in Cancer, which is so special. A lot of feelings. This is going to be that underground, delicious feeling too that Cancers bring. So Jillian will be able to bring a lot of wisdom and knowledge about their Cancerian sun life. And also just straight up, let's go through the zodiac. We'll try to keep this a tight and tidy hour. And I promise we'll get to every zodiac sign.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I'll be using round tarot because I'm a lunar witch. I do so love the 8 phases of the moon. And this gives me a little bit more of an agency to speak from that lunar perspective, which is our intuition. And also with the Cancers, that's your ruling planet. So it's going to be pretty moony. Loony. Let's do it. And also the Friday feels too, because I'm a Libra sun and it turns out I'm a Taurus rising. So that's Venus times 2. And it's Friday today. So expect this to have like a love base. So we'll see what comes up, but if we're coming from that lunar love, that means that we're loving our interior journey and accepting that not everything's out and just punching through new walls all the time. So a lot of it is nurturing the feelings that we're having.
The sensory experience. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, things that might not be exactly here right now, things that we're dreaming of. I love nurturing dreams to
mystic,
come.
Subtle energy.
For sure.
And I'm just using the traditional writer. I can't remember. Why am I so bad? The traditional tarot.
You're wonderful. It's Smith Rider now because we're honoring Pamela Coleman Smith Pixie's contribution in artwork. And so we like to lead with her name now. And that's why there's confusion.
I love that.
Because we're in a new space of making more space for the original artist and creatrix who's femme and thought to be queer and a person of color. So I love what's happening in tarot right now, that we're in a space of like going back to the original tradition and opening up more room. Yeah. So good. Bubble on that so you can focus on Pixie. It's awesome.
Wonderful. So to keep things moving quick enough for the time frame, do you want to do 2 for each sign, 1 from you, 1 from me? Do you want to take Aries with a card or 2 and I'll take Taurus with a card? Like, what do you think, like pattern wise? You want to do 1 each for each sign?
I think 1 each for each sign.
I think that's great
because
that's what I would have.
That's what I would have. We each get a dirty dozen.
Yeah, you get hit.
And then if there's jumpers, like we'll go with that. I will be shuffling once with intention breaking the deck into 3 with my left hand, as is tarot tradition, and then back into 1, and all of my cards will come off the top. And maybe I'll check the bottom
Once
too,
in a while,
because
yeah.
we did that. We did that the other day, and that was super fun too. We made that's a little teaser for the video that Jillian has for your channel.
Yep. It's
And
not
then
up yet, but
there's
it'll be there.
someone really wonderful that's on YouTube and Instagram called Golden Finch, and she may or may not be here, but she has a class over on her YouTube channel talking about reading from the bottom of the deck, which is just really juicy right now. The underworld is calling anyways, because here it is, deep, deep autumn. And so let's take that dive in.
Yeah.
Hecate is calling.
We had a question from Sophia to ask your sign, and you're a Libra.
Oh yes, I'm a Libra sun.
Yeah, it was answered.
I'm a Gemini moon and a Taurus rising.
Spirit twin, hey.
Oh, good. Yeah, hi,
Alchemy
Spirit
Boy,
twin.
hey,
Is it both
Katie.
Spirit twins? So maybe, Jillian, if we go lightning round, maybe we do each zodiac from both of us, and we can leave a little bit of space at the end for those that maybe have their own special question. If we
have the time, absolutely.
I think we can get at it. So stick around, okay? And then maybe we can answer some of your questions too, okay?
And I just shuffle. I do a different way, you know, and that's what's great. We all do our own thing.
Mine is using gravity. It's using the gravity from the moon to drop the tarot into our right hand from our left. And now I'm ready to break the deck into 3. I'm challenging myself now because of that it's called lightning round. I'm ready. Ready, let's go. All right,
and I just kind of cut it and go from there. And
I dig it. Oh, and you know me, I give my hugs. I believe in that bosom hug. Let's envelop. Let's go for it. Are we ready, Freddie?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so
spaghetti.
Go for it.
Ready? All right. What'd you get?
I got the reversed magician, and I'm so ready for that.
I love it. You want to lead?
I'm ready for you to lead. You're my guest, and I adore you.
So we got the 10 of Pentacles.
Yeah.
Completion of something physical. There's this level here that just reminds me of kind of getting everything you almost like. So I'm really focusing on the older gentleman here, which makes me think of becoming your own. And you have done so much work, Aries. So this is for Aries. You've done so much work in at least some aspect of your life where you're now in a position where you've kind of carved a new path in some way for those who in your life are of less maturity. That could be your children, that could be your friends, that could be your parents, but in a way that you've carved some kind of path where now you're the elder, you're the guide, you're the one that opened a new perspective to someone, and you're kind of witnessing the fact that they're coming online with it as well. So I should say too, I read intuitively. So tomorrow, if I pull this, it might say something different to me.
That's true.
But that's what seemed to come out. There's something that you want to acknowledge within yourself that you're mastering, and to feel good about that and know like you can be a teacher of something, whether that's something you profit off of and it becomes your work, or it's just like something you can feel good about and take resonance with and accept within yourself that like you've carved something and now you're teaching others to do so, or you've opened a door where they can now see through it.
Pentacles, because I'm certain that you're here, you know a little bit about tarot. So tarot has the major arcana, which is the first 22 cards. And then there's 4 suits that track the compass rose of our altars. North is the direction. And earth is the corresponding element, and that's Pentacles. So that has that richness of home, food,
money, material possessions,
big time.
The physical path, like the path of you walking and experiencing like here and building here and setting things up that other people will enjoy even when you're gone, you know, like it's
so real.
What is legacy that called? Your legacy. Yes, exactly. There's some kind of like specifically for right today, even though we're talking about some kind of legacy going on.
I could be obsessed with that 10 of Pentacles right here, because that just really shows a lot of fruitfulness. And when we're in this late autumn, we have to acknowledge that we are going into the winter time. And what do you have stored up? What messages are you telling yourself? So reversed magician is the card that I pulled. And I want to make sure you have that pretty picture, not too glared out. Again, with the underworld, we're being called to receive our messages from deep within right now. I'm going to challenge you, Aries, to have a little bit more confidence with what you believe is your magic. So let's try to winnow that down. Let's take a moment and write a list of the 3 things about you that you're pulling forward in the world, the 3 things that you love about yourself. Even if you are in a situation where you're not allowed to talk about what you love about yourself, tell your book of shadows, the 3 most magical things about you, and find a way to nurture them inside of your own magic and mental capacity. When I see reversals, a lot of times I see that as something you're nurturing quietly, that you aren't able to language, and that's complex. We understand that. Maybe you're sneaking off into the bathroom at your 9-to-5 job, and I'm inside your little Beats headphone right now. I'm open to that. And Jillian, I know that not everybody can consume the work that we have the privilege and the honor to pull forward. Some of that has to do with confidence. So I'm going to challenge you, Aries. You're so confident. Let's kind of nurture those 3 things that you love about yourself right now. And maybe by the next full moon, you can choose one of them to bring into the world very quietly. Remember, your dreams are your inner child. Take good care of them. You don't just let anybody babysit your baby or hold your baby. Be really tender with your magic right now. Okay, Aries.
Aries.
Baller.
Get it, Aries.
These are good cards.
Get it, Aries. Right. Taurus. Oh, bam. Oh,
sweet. This is awesome.
I'll let you go
for it. Are you sure? Okay,
yeah,
surprise.
Yeah.
We'll surprise them.
We'll swap.
All right, so this is the beautiful right tilted 4 of Pentacles for Taurus. These are really super favorable. Now, when we did a read, this is again a little teaser for the reading that we did the other day for Jillian's channel to be determined when it comes out. There was a lot of reversals in that. This is like these 4 cards that we pulled right now are pretty abundant and pretty gorgeous. The 4 of Pentacles shows you that you really have everything on the plate right now. You have every kind of nourishment that you need. Now it's time to sit down and enjoy the feast. You can stand at the sink and eat the feast if you want to.
Yeah.
Is that what we do with the feast? You have everything you need on the plate. You actually have enough to share with others. When I see tarot pulled with that right tilt, to me, that's IRL. That's what's in real life. Share this feast. They're meant to be shared. That's what really makes it a feast. Yeah, sometimes we have to grab and go. I'm in California. We love our drive-thrus. Our car sometimes is the place of the feast. This one, really savor and enjoy, Taurus, okay?
And I love that too, because I got the Magician, which like on the table, it's not, this is now the feast of tools, you know, the feast of you have everything that you need right now. You really do. So if there's anything that you're feeling disempowered about, if there's any wobble, I don't think that there is. I feel like you guys are probably feeling like you have a lot to give and feeling like your plate is full and feeling like you can create anything. And if this is just simply validation, and after that full moon, especially the full moon recently in Taurus. So it's just like when I see this in heads up, it's just like, oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I was feeling good. Yeah, I knew things were coming together for me. I knew I was pulling in things from all the elements or all my own skills or different areas. So emotionally, you're being guided. Intellectually, in a mental field, you're getting ideas, or you're weeding through things and you're getting more clarity. You're seeing things manifest physically in the earth realm for you. And you're also transmuting what needs to be. You know, you're burning away what needs to be. So like, good on you, Taurus. You know, like you guys are doing good, I guess.
That is a pop your collar moment.
Yeah.
And Taurus, a lot of times you're here to support other people. Maybe right now, like take the key lighting.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Gemini, hi. We're calling you. Boom.
Oh,
This is a lot of fun.
What did you get?
I have the 2 of Swords. Do you want to keep going, Jillian?
Yeah, I'll flip. We'll flip. So I got the Ace of Pentacles, which means Gemini, you know, this is just like, look at it, you know, like what gift did you ask for? Like, what did you ask for? There's something that you probably already know. These are like really good readings. Like, the vibe is really good.
Right now, big time.
I haven't had to like delicately say anything.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Scorpio. I'm looking at you.
Yeah. No,
we'll get to you.
But there's either something you've already manifested that like you should feel good about and be congratulating yourself for, or this is just a reminder to know like you have access to every resource you may require on your path, following your heart, being guided, moving, whether it's a trip you're trying to manifest or a relationship. You literally have access to all of it. If you do feel disconnected from that at all, I would guide or suggest to work with connecting to Mother Matter, the archetypal mother that provides everything, you know, and accept and receive and let yourself accept. But I feel like this is, you know, the fact that this is straight up tells me that like you're kind of already there. So that might not be for everyone. It might just be like, you know, you got it, or it's coming and it feels really good. Because how could it not?
Well, it's amazing that you said Mother Matter, because I've got the left tilted 2 of Swords for you now, Gemini. And we know, well, so many of us know, and for those of you that don't, please welcome in. This is the idea of how maternal the elephants are. And this shows that communing with the part of you that is nurturing baby you. So you can run into some experiences right now of feeling some mother wound issues. They're deep buried inside your mind. And right now you have the time and space to look at them. So Gemini, you love your mental capacities. The Swords is the direction of east, the element of air, and that's writing, that's listening to music, that's poetry, that's the internet. Make sure that you're mindful to remother yourself really well and consume things right now and produce things right now, from now until the new moon, that are really protective of your mental capacities, really protect your mental health right now. So here comes the holidays. Take good care of your mental wellness and surround yourself with sights and sounds that travel on the air that nurture you in that Mother Matter way. So I love this because, again, that left tilt shows that it's more in your intuition. So tuck yourself in very nicely at night. Really mop your own brow and kisses and give yourself a really sweet good night any way that you choose to do that mentally. Yeah.
Perfect.
Wow. Good cards.
All right. Cancer, right? Cancer.
Bam. Oh no, Cancer. It wouldn't be Cancer, would it? Right after Gemini?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of moved.
Yeah, you go.
Reverse Devil. Let's go.
They were good cards. No, just kidding.
Thank goodness. I didn't want to have to tackle that. It's the reversed Emperor. I feel so much better.
Okay.
Oh, Mom lost her glasses. So talk about intuitive reading.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the way it is. So reversed Emperor is just continue to be so gentle with yourself. The utter maternity and the sweet femme. And I know that if you live in this space with me, you know that I support a non-binary and totally like queer positive and safer space here. So because I'm speaking in terms of like gender relationships, it's within you. It's this aspect of you that has that maybe like a patriarchal vibe. This is a time for you right now to be super gentle with yourself, especially, I mean, this really could sort of speak to the ways that you might be being critical of yourself inside. So gentle up on your, you should do this and you should do that. We've just got it. That word's just got to melt away. It really isn't helping. So it's being kind of like your fantasy father to yourself right now, and knowing if there's woundedness in that space that to take care of that right now. So you got a mom and you got a dad right in a row, everybody. I'm just going to keep my words
That's so funny.
brief here.
It's true. It's true. And that makes sense even for like this card as well. So Cancer has, from me, from my perspective, or, you know, from my pile anyway, 3 of Swords reversed. So this is telling me that your best served potentially right now to acknowledge the times that you may have feel stabbed in the back. There's been something in your field, or it could be history, it could be years and years ago, but either way, it's a lesson that's coming up now, or it could have been just this morning, but it's a lesson that's coming up now for you in some way. And I think I love that you said like the father energy, or that, because Mother Matter and like Cosmic Father are two of my most favorite ways of connecting with archetypes and like parent ways, because we put so much on our parents, and like they're just humans, so like don't even try it, like kind of thing, what are you doing? Yeah, like
get you somewhere.
Totally. So this is really asking you, I'd say, to really forgive, if I can say that. Forgive yourself for holding on to it. Forgive yourself if you couldn't deal with it at the time, or forgive the other person. And I hate the word forgive sometimes because it makes us feel like we have to approve, but like obviously we don't have to approve. Take whatever it was from this backstabbing or this like heart, like gut-wrenching experience that you've had that's kind of in your psyche or in your field, or maybe you're witnessing play out for other people and it's like triggering for you, like something that hasn't been dealt with yet. But take it and know that obviously, like as with everything else, it was a lesson. It taught you about yourself. It taught you about your boundaries. And if you have needed to put a wall around your heart, if you've built a kind of bounty castle around your heart to keep yourself safe from that happening again, and someone getting so close to you that they could be in a vulnerable position, especially for our like Cancer crab ass freaking selves that like, no, like you're not gonna hurt me, I'm gooey in here. It's a good reminder that you don't have to take down the castle. Like you don't have to take down the bouncy castle or whatever, but please remember, like you're the one with the key to that gate. It's not like you've built it and now you've built yourself in and you built this like brick wall around yourself that can't get out. You always have the key, and use the discernment of the pain that you've experienced or that you've witnessed even in other people to know like when to go and unlock the gate for a passion or a person, and when to hold it, and just know like you're in control. You have the key to your heart and you decide what gets let in. And it sucks that we have to learn it through a painful lesson sometimes, but as is life,
Okay, we're not done. I'm going to go back to my reversed emperor, because we're talking about castles, and emperor shows the four sides. It almost shows the in the box thinking. And when I see this reversal, I see that you're getting there, that maybe now that kind of boxed in feeling is in fuzzy, and it might be kind of in faded relief. You're getting there. You might have an echo of that pain, but to really take the time right now to kind of give yourself a shout out for the ways that you have healed, and that you're allowing it to kind of melt away and to actually move towards the beautiful feels. So it's time for a playlist. You got to get those 4 songs out that really pierce your heart and keep it really in that softer field, because you're progressing. It's really, we all have pain, and to love is to die. To love is to be in pain. And the fact that you loved and it hurt you meant that you loved. So really, it's all good news.
Yeah. It's like focusing on the experience that you got to have.
Poor Cancer. I love you. I just gave so much Cancer love, and I know Jillian did too. And that's a beautiful thing. You deserve it. We see you. Now, Leo, we'll try our hardest to give you more words than we just did. Oh, that's exciting. First. All right. So I've got a fire for the Leos, just like really you beautiful. Like. This is the gorgeous Ace of Wands. And I love this version of the Ace of Wands. This is the Circle of Life Tarot, and it's from an Italian artist named Maria Di Stefano. And I just love this for being an acknowledgement that you're starting. And I know that you see the raging inferno of your passions, and you know that it can all be like stadium rock huge. You must strike a simple single match. It's always the first spark that's so important. So just plan it out. Make a really great plan that will end up with the stadium rock, but it has to start with your single, gorgeous, simple tea light. Okay, so just begin at the beginning. Love you, Leo.
And I'll just add on to that. I have the 2 of Cups, which I love because it has this like lion, like flying lion thing at the top
So
too,
good.
you know?
I love it.
So this is saying as well that you either would be served to either have support or have that confident to talk to about all that you're experiencing. This might be some kind of partnered creation to pair with Angela's wands, Ace of Wands there. It's kind of asking you, there's some blending of energies that will be very served. So if whether it's a project or something, don't be a hero and try to do it all yourself this time. Like whether it's guidance alone or it's total collaboration, there's something there that will really support the work that you're doing. So if you can see the cups are meeting, these like two energies are swirling together, the masculine and feminine, we could say, or complementary energies. And it creates the lion, which is a version of self, you know, like the lion is an expression of ego. So it's kind of like to become one in a sense. So joint project might be a part of it. Manifesting from a potential of calling in helpers or calling people that will see eye to eye with you and trusting that like there is something like that. Use discernment. You know, we've all done things with other people that were like, oh, that wasn't a good fit. And like we learn later and that's okay. You know, that's inevitable. But you know, while you're manifesting, I would include the opportunity for someone to meet you with it, whether it was ideas or lending a complementary field to whatever you're doing.
I'm kind of seeing all of these cards now coming in a large spread for the collective. And I'm really spoiled rotten because someone so special to me, Plant Skull, gave me a reading with the entire deck the other night, so like cool. The entire deck in a bespoke reading that I've never had any experience like it before. And I'm seeing that happening now with all of these cards on the table. We've had 2 twos, and this is a need for the collective here to really acknowledge equanimity, acknowledge the need for balance. So what happens with balance? Do we just start with balance and then just white knuckle it and hold balance? No, we add a little of this and a little of that, and we ride the waves. And I just love that there's that 2 of Cups to show the need to just ride the waves and kind of enjoy the ride. You know,
definitely.
We don't start at the stadium.
No,
you ready?
No. Where are we, Leo, Virgo?
I'm ready.
Oh,
excellent.
So Virgo, for me, you're getting strength. So this is definitely about tackling your own. It is a strength, but it can also be a fear. You know, it can be like scary to see how strong you are, which is like such a paradox, but hey, that's human nature, isn't it? So there's a strength that you're either wrestling with taking in. So if I can share, like sometimes it's hard for me to connect with the term like master Reiki teacher, you know, because I'm like, oh, that sounds weird. Or that makes me, there feels like separation then, or it feels like, I'm putting myself on a pedestal and I don't want people to see me that way. This is saying that like, you're going to have to be seen. Like you are a helper, you are a server, you are organized, you play a very important role, Virgo, and to be comfortable with whatever is for you. But as an example, being seen and being comfortable declaring yourself how you are and not quite worried about how others are going to perceive you. I don't think Virgo really gets hung up on how people will perceive them necessarily.
As long as they get the job done.
Yeah, you know, but there might be a little bit of it because they do want things to be a nice foundation. Like they don't want to start in this like I'm better than you kind of space ever, you know? So just kind of bringing that in with balance and being comfortable with like what your strengths are and not feeling guilty about like putting yourself out or like declaring or even bragging a little, you know, like if you need to, if that's what serves, right?
Yeah. So the good part is now you get something that's so utterly in your wheelhouse. This is the Page of Swords. This is a gorgeous Page of Swords, which is showing sort of the mastery is in being the student, which I know you love to do so much, Virgo. You love to make your list and check it twice. And yes, you're being called to be in your power, like the thing is here that you created. And it's just a breakdown of things on a list. So you still get to make your list. You still get to have your spreadsheet. You still get to be in the comfort of being a supportive person. And probably your project that you love and the thing that you're doing so well at isn't as individual as you may fear it is. You come at it as a student, come at it with your list, come at it with your triplicate form, and you hand out your yellow copy and your pink copy, but you have the master copy. And feel so good about that, because you know the master copy is safe with you because you're so conscious. You're so mindful that everybody's got their copies. Be the student. That's the best teacher. That's the true strength, in being open to always learning. I love this for you. I'm excited that you get the comfort of not feeling so exposed.
Okay,
it's
good. Yeah. That's good. All right. Libra.
Let's go.
Bam.
I love it. Oh, I have a reversed Queen of Pentacles for this card, and that's very interesting. And it shows this sort of, I mean, if it's upright, she's sitting upon the mushroom. Reversed, she's beneath the mushroom. I'm actually in love with this for looking like it's very much sort of whatever's under my roof is the power. Whatever's happening is within my house, within my body, within my budget already. I think this is just utterly, totally, and completely positive. Maybe it isn't time for Libras to be sort of out in the world like crazy. Maybe it's time to tuck into your nest and really be calm and comfortable and enjoy what you have created, and take a minute. But there's nothing reversed or upright. This is just a glorious card. So this is a time to just completely, totally, and enjoy.
And it's funny, I got the Queen of Swords reversed. Or Wands, I'm sorry. Wands.
Feelings on that.
I'm seeing stuff. So this is saying that, like, Libra, you've created a lot, or you have a lot that you want to create, but you're going to have to pull back a little bit. The holidays are coming, you know, like, you're busy. Don't forget to rest. Don't forget to use your helpers. Like, they have this little cat here. Yeah, I know it's something you say all the time, and I'm like, yeah, Libra here saying it, but it's true. Use your helpers. Use your, like, connect with your other senses, and not just that create. Yes. Like, there's other things too. You want to feel where you're going. You don't want to just push through to how you get there. You want to know what the path is going to be like. You want to know what it's going to allow you to express, and what you're going to allow to even fill your day with as you go forward. So it's just telling you to, like, just slow down, you know, give it a little space. That might be for the weekend. It doesn't mean like forever. It might be for the next couple months, you know, like it's possible, like, as we get closer to the end of the year. But it is just asking, like, cool it, plan, focus more on
Look at the
feeling. I know the feeling.
This is the bonfire in the woods. This is the gentle, gorgeous time to be away and to just be in your precious secret garden.
Because when you let more come to the surface, like more information, or more like, oh, I didn't know that, or I didn't know that it felt this way. Maybe I like this even more than I thought I did. Or maybe that's not as for me as I thought that it was. Yeah. So there's always different ways of getting what you want done. It doesn't have to be this, like, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it. Yeah. It doesn't have to be like that. This is going to, like, tone it down a little bit, because that's a powerful place for Libra as well anyway.
It's so special.
The softness.
Wow.
All right. Where are we now?
Oh,
Scorpio. I'm like actually remembering them in order. Where normally I'm like,
very appreciative.
Where are we?
Yeah.
Oh, Scorpio.
Okay.
Will
you please go first?
Yeah. I got the Lovers.
Oh,
for Scorpio.
I have to be so bold as to say I got a 6 as well, because Lovers is 6.
Yeah.
This is the 6 of Swords. So,
how cool.
Sexy.
Yeah. You know, you guys might be doing some magic right now.
Big
like
time.
some true magic. I know, like, Scorpios in general are of a more mystic nature. Obviously, not everyone resonates with that, but they are. They are. And this is a time when your magic is, like, very potent. We're still in Scorpio season. It's a great time. You may have had an experience recently that really made you feel like, oh my God, like, the side of myself that I always knew that was there, like, really just came to the surface, or I really know how to implement it, or like this wholeness. It might be in a relationship, but, you know, I love relationships, like, don't get me wrong, but I think it's so much more important we focus on the self regardless. Like, because even in a relationship, you're the most important always, like, perspective and responsibility wise and everything. So I feel like some of you have had like a true awakening of your own balance, of your own power over this season or over your last solar return in general. And this is a time of feeling kind of balanced, kind of aware that there was all this stuff within you that is a lot easier for you to tap into than you thought, but like you're ready now. Like the year taught you a lot.
Oh, big time.
With this year. I mean, like your birth year, your solar return year. So it's just what's coming up for me.
I think that Scorpios are great travelers, and I'm seeing.
I was going to say travel. I was going to say, I feel like you might be taking a trip or something.
Okay, too. So this, in these last days of Mercury retrograde, this right tilted 6 of swords is saying, write 6 emails and put them in drafts. Just hang on for a second. Don't push send yet, because we want to be really respectful to the communications and those lines being as open as possible, while Mercury is just in this phase where we're almost going direct, and maybe the couple days after. Read and reread those drafts before you send them out. But honestly, you're doing some of your best work ever right now, and you're about to push send. But now you get a chance now to sort of not just edit where you're taking things out. Now we add the flourishes. This swords is the words, it's the poetry, it's the underpinning of music, it's those sweet, do you know the word flourish? Flourish is the gorgeous curly cues in the frame. It's time for you to put the gorgeous frame on this. Scorpio, I love you. You can be very, very direct, and you have that going for you, and I need that in my life as a person who is formerly Scorpio rising, and I'm no longer that anymore.
We both found out that we were not our own rising signs.
In like totally practical ways.
Yeah.
Like
super weird.
My safe needed the battery changed on it, and so my birth certificate was locked up for a long time.
And you were like, wait a minute.
Didn't you just run into yours in a weird way?
I needed it to like change my driver's license and all that stuff. And I was like, let me look at that. And then I put it in and I was like, even the birth time, I was like, that's not what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And then I put it in and I was like,
holy.
Who is she? Who is this Leo rising? Are you sure? I still resonate really strongly with a Virgo rising, but I love Excel. I love my spreadsheets.
I love it.
I love my organization.
And having said that, if any of you think of us as teachers or folks that help you, we have been focusing on, for me, Scorpio, in Jillian's case, Virgo, and we've nurtured and made those strands really plump and healthy, and we've been casting from that place. Scorpio, it doesn't matter if you're actually Scorpio or not. The fact is,
somewhere.
You're bold and direct, and now it's time to add this gorgeous flourish and make that sweet sugar go onto the recipe so it goes down really nicely. It's worth it. I think it's good.
Yeah, definitely.
2 6s.
How funny.
Sexy.
We
know, we hear it.
All right, Sag. Coming up. Happy birthday, almost Sag.
Woo!
I'll let you go.
The spot.
I'll let you go first.
I don't know. I might be sneezing. I literally might be sneezing.
You can sneeze. All right, Sag. This, just so you know, this always happens right before your birthday. It's like a thing, like it's in Rosicrucian teachings, it's in like other formats, usually right before your solar return, because your season, Sag season, for you, just like Cancer season for me, is like, I'm in the zone, like I'm making a little more money usually, or things are just coming together, or I'm getting different, like I just feel like I'm in my zone, like. And it's funny too, because Cancer season, most people are like, oh, and I'm so like, funny. I know. So Sag season is coming, but we're kind of purging right before we get into our season. It kind of gets the pendulum kind of has to swing into the uncomfortable, because you're about to be in like the prime, like the sun is beaming on you kind of thing. So right now, you might be losing some sleep. You might have a lot on your mind. You might be just imposing thoughts, or kind of stuck on a loop, or just something. So like, obviously with this, the guidance is just to remember, like, set dedications. What's yours is yours, but what's not yours doesn't need to be hanging over this wall over you as you're sleeping. Take stock. Know and trust that, like, if you are in a downward momentum right now, or what I would call the pendulum pullback, it's all for good purpose. So like people talk about the law of vibration, or the principle of vibration rather, and how, you know, we want to be aligned with what's good for us. But you know what? There are other laws to the universe as well. And even if you fall out of the vibration of, you know, your perfect place, like you're like, I'm in my zone, which is inevitable. There are other laws you can work with to catch yourself and move yourself into the right way. It's inevitable. Like the law of rhythm, which is the pullback so that you can launch forward, is part of it. It's almost like the safety net. So validate what you're experiencing. Let yourself feel it, let yourself say it, but know that like that pullback is only so you're going to be launched forward. Like you're about to enter your season. Like it's such going to be such a good time. It's just like the kind of pullback before. And it's probably stuff that you don't need to be worried about, but you just are. Yeah. Because we're human.
Sag, such gorgeous fire.
Yeah. Playful, funny, like lights.
Like, so here for
I feel like this is something to do with work. I feel like this is something to do with like not getting something out in time, or like the clients coming back to you with like, I need these edits, or where are those files from 5 years ago? And you're like, 5 years ago, I don't still have those. Like something like that, where someone else's problem is kind of getting projected at you, but you do have a responsibility in, but you don't. Like, just know it's all part of your lesson, and it's totally fine. We all get this card sometimes. It's not the worst thing in the world.
So, you know, this is the Wheel of Fortune. And so that's a 10. It is spinning. And I know that this shows a lot of movement and rhythm. Sag, as it relates to you, because you're coming into your season, you're coming into your birthday time. And I know a lot of times your birthday season can be like way too busy for everybody. And that can be painful. And you do so appreciate being kind of smooth under pressure and moving forward all the time. Before you get to your birthday, however that looks, go back as you're sort of contracting and gaining energy before you burst forward, and ask forgiveness for the ways that you made a mistake, even if it's entangled, even if there's many parties involved. You can just say you're sorry for your part, and you can create some space that you aren't filling with words or actions for the person to react and fully forgive you. It's going to show your mastery. It's going to show your ability and your depth. And it's almost more than you speaking it right now, more than you proving how smart and strong you are, which we know how amazing you are. Go back and ask forgiveness, because the fact is you're human and you made a normal mistake, and it's time for you to just fully own it. It's not going to break you. It's not going to make you less credible. It's actually going to add to your credibility and lighten your load, because this actually just gets heavier and heavier every day that you don't say, that was a mistake. I was a little shady. I'm very sorry. It's that, let it be simple. And then you'll get the hang of it, and you'll be able to simply be better, and maybe even not make the same mistake twice. So love you, Sag.
Yeah, happy almost birthday.
I know.
All right, Cappies.
Let's go.
Cappies.
Come on, Earth. Ooh, awesome. Okay. This is the High Priestess card. And believe it or not, in this deck, this is upright. This is the High Priestess upright for Caps, which it shows incredible solidness. I love this card in all decks because it shows the pillar of two legs, two strong, juicy thighs holding you up. And that's not an ableist thing. If you're disabled and your legs don't work, you still need to acknowledge that you have to have a foundation beneath you. What is your foundation, Capricorn? Let's feed that. Let's be so proud of your hard work, because you so totally love hard work. You love that you're so made for the hard work, and just be about it. The High Priestess is also about musing with the moon and not having to tell people everything you know all the time. It's about building your knowledge. So crack a great book and feed your mind, kind of sit there and sort of enjoy your foundation, your home, and just build towards a really strong winter where you may be called to help others. Yeah, have lots of firewood.
I like that. I'm going to piggyback a little, because I got the Ace of Cups, and for me, reverse is typically like just a delay, or maybe it's already happened, something like that. But in general, I feel like this is just holding for you. And this might not be for everyone, but what Angela said about the pillars and the strength, I think of legs, and Capricorn is more associated with, I believe, the knees, if I'm not mistaken. And the knees are, and I think other parts as well, but I'm going to lead with knees. Capricorn represents, or physically in esoteric anatomy, knees, and the knees are tied to your comfort in going with the flow, rolling with the punches. It's just like in stretching. Like if you're stretching beyond your comfort place, you can do it, but you're like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. And you're very aware and you want to get out of this and get back into your comfort zone. So I think that this amazing kind of fulfillment, this like really feeling emotionally fulfilled by what you're creating, like enjoying the fruits of what you've been working towards for so long, or that you always are. It's not like it's one big thing. It's like multiple things, like literal mountains. So I would encourage you even to get a little physical and focus on the knees primarily. Different stones that might be helpful, like something like snowflake obsidian or something like that might be wonderful. Stretch, like literally stretch and get more comfortable with stretching your knees if you're able to, of course, like I don't mean to be ableist as well, but focus on your knees and pay attention. If you are a Cappy who's been having knee pains recently, or you struggle with that anyway, perhaps think about it. Is it your left knee? Is it your right knee? Because these have different metaphysical significance. The left is more associated with the feminine. So what are you controlling and having to, in your feminine quality of energy, your intuition, your emotions, your receptivity, is that in a state of rigidness? Is that in a way where I need to heal something about this so that I can be more flexible with the ways that I receive from the universe? And if it's your right knee, that being more masculine energy and more outward, am I being too rigid on the way that I produce or the way that I navigate or what is brought to me so that I can produce in the more physical? And just like think about it more, and like see like how it's adding up to you, because something of that might be an aha for you, or might lead you to another resource and then another resource, and just help you to receive that all of this, like this fulfillment, this like joyful splashing in the fountain kind of bullshit that like Capricorn's probably like, no, thank you, but okay, thanks, I'm glad it's there.
Yeah, exactly. Good for everyone else.
I have work to do, and I'm not getting these socks wet. Like, are you kidding? But like, you enjoy,
But Capricorn gets off on those foundations.
Yeah.
And you can still have that. If we're working with Jillian's knees concept, which I'm feeling so much because I saw the pillar of the legs, knees are hinges. Knees connect us to that underworld, that lower space. Please respect how utterly important it is, if you're in North America, that we are going into that winter time. Respect that it's time for us to really be very deeply connected to the pure source of our nourishment, which is the groundswell. We've got to have that protective grounding and attachment very, very deeply through the crystal layers and the lava layers, deep into that rooted mystery. It's time for us to be mindful that we're taking the energy out of our mind and deep down into our feet. So you respect, Cap, how important it is that we're foundational. Take it further, take it lower, take it deeper, and maybe kick up your meditation practice. Take really super seriously that you need to empty the mind and attach to the feet and the ground.
And enjoying what you're creating.
Totally.
Too, because it's not just like
work.
Why do it if it, like why do it if it's not for something?
So real.
Yeah.
Okay, Aquarius, who we love.
We love.
Oh, this is so much fun. More call to the underworld with the reversed hanged one. The reversed hanged one. In many decks, this is called the Hanged Man. So how exciting is this? This is the 12. So Aquarius, I know you're trippy and I know you're psychedelic, and I know that you like to be so independent. So this is time for you to just do all of that. It's time for you to be alone sometimes and just deep dive into the things that you trip out on, especially art, draw and paint and just doodle. And even if that isn't your main creative outlet, go to the museum and trip out on all the beautiful things. I just went to go see the wonderful Betty Saar show that's at LA County Museum of Art, and it's a small gallery, but being able to see how she took other people's treasures and cobbled this, what would be trash for other people, into glorious, beautiful art. And a lot of it is associated with the zodiac. She has some gorgeous, beautiful zodiac art. Go to the museum and worship other people's artwork, but try to spend that time alone. Enjoy and let that underside of you, the underworld, speak to you, especially if you can get beneath the canopy of trees, lay upon the earth, and gaze up at the canopy from that mouse perspective up into the sky. You're going to be a super happy magic maker.
And I got the King of Pentacles, which tells me too that in relation to everything that Angela shared, you have to remember that like you don't need a guide. You know what I mean? Like Aquarians do need to be grounded sometimes. And like, you know, I work with Aquarians, a few, and it's nice to like kind of ground that like out there, because it is something that you want to bring it here. Sorry, let me retrace my steps. You want to be able to connect with all your artistic inclinations and all your super out there ideas. But if they're just lingering here, that's fun for you, but like share it with us, you know? So it's just to remember that there is something material that's coming forth from this, like sharing your art, or even just creating it and channeling it through onto the paper, or whatever it is for you. It could be food, it could be makeup, whatever. But also it's kind of asking you to take some responsibility for it, I want to say, to know that like, this is your kingdom. Like, don't let people blow you around. Don't let people influence you too much in a way that it takes away from you being the ruler of your own kingdom. Right. You know? Yeah. So, and to know like it is something material that you're called to do. Like it's called to be down and like kind of make sense of it too. Like, because Aquarian stuff doesn't always make sense to the other people that share the space. Independent. Very unique. Exactly. You know, and that's wonderful. It's what we love, but like still let it come out, you know?
We are in these bodies.
All right, Pisces.
Here we go, babes.
Ooh, okay.
This is incredible. Honestly, this whole thing needs to be laid out like plant skulls. We need to be one card at a time. 78 card reading. Have you ever?
No.
I know. It's pretty epic.
I've gone through like a good half deck by myself, but I'm kind of like talking to myself. I'm not like doing a spread, you know? Super awesome.
Go for it.
All right. I got King of Swords, Pisces.
Does that mean we've had at least 3 of the kings?
At least 3. Yeah.
Kings and queens.
Yeah. So essentially this is saying like Pisces that you have something very powerful mentally going on, an idea, some piece of inspiration that you've either worked your whole life to get to, or you've been refining, and you're just in a position where like you can create it. You maybe already have, but you really need to take ownership of it. Like you really need to own, try not to disassociate, try not to disconnect, try not to let someone else come and run your kingdom. Take responsibility, show up, ask questions, ask for the like check the analytics, check the reports, get like invested into it, because it's really easy to let stuff go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I did it, but now it's up to someone else to carry it, or now it's up to someone else to monitor it, or I did, like, really own this and like know that like you're the governor of it, and it has to be through your responsibility. Like you need to still stay attached to what it is. Yeah,
it's so true. Having said that, I mean, this is pretty epic. This is the 10 of Pentacles, Pisces. Pisces, you got to get paid for it. Getting paid for it is a time way to look stamp.
At it. The analytics,
it isn't
but like
just money,
monetary.
Seriously, I want to hold them.
Yeah.
I want to take all those little Pisces guppies in and just go. Pretty soon those legs are coming in.
Like Ponyo.
You can't stay teeny forever, even though that gives you anonymity. So I'm not trying to call you out. I'm acknowledging that you love your space and freedom, and to remember to create this last bit of your literally registered trademark, intellectual property, brilliant creation, with the added timestamp of getting paid for it. And you can create it to where doesn't have to have the part of the contract that's making you nervous.
Right.
The thing that's scaring you about it, let's intellectualize how to remove that thing instead of removing yourself. You don't have to go to a different pond. Stay in that pond and rewrite that last little bit of the contract so you can keep your anonymity and get paid. It's really important.
That's totally what it is. It's like don't run away from it now that it's time to collect, or now that it's time to like, because people, especially with this reading, when we start thinking about even like getting paid, it's like, well, then I have to get my taxes done. Then I have to do this. And it's like, it almost starts to complicate things. It's like, step up, like, taxes are good. Like, taxes mean like you're making money. Like, taxes, you can pay your taxes and feel good about contributing to something in some way. Like, you got to mentally mess yourself up so you can feel good about paying taxes. Like, it's not like I want to, but like I trick myself into feeling good about it because it means it's actually here and it's happening. And
paying taxes keeps the road smooth. Let it be simple. Let the thing that you're afraid of be really simplified, because I understand that there's some dark fantasies that happen for Pisces mind occasionally. It's really important that you are acknowledged as the person who's the boss of the thing you created. So good job. You got this. And do something fun for yourself when you get paid for the work.
Do something fun.
We did it.
I see Lacey.
Oh, that's so much fun. Hi, Lacey. Thanks for bringing us together. The reason for the season. That's awesome. I'm not able to actually see the screen because my glasses and I are not together right now. So I'm not really sure who's on, and we're like at exactly an hour
which
now.
Is perfect for us. We've got some mommy stuff.
Absolutely. We absolutely do. I've got a kid that's getting spacers today and getting braces next week. So, I mean, that's how real it is. It's just.
I'm going to get ready for my class tonight.
I know, that's awesome. Do we want to say hi? Can you say who's on? Is that okay,
hard.
Jillian?
It's hard for me to do it too. I have my glasses on and I still.
We see a lot of adorable symbols over there, and it's great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. And I want to just acknowledge how special it is to have Jillian here, not just in California, but in my home, and believing in the work that I'm creating. Jillian, I feel the same. I will follow you to the ends of the earth. I'm so here
to Costa Rica.
Yes, exactly. Well, I mean, why don't we just finalize this by talking about special projects and ways that folks that maybe aren't associated with each other, how can we find more of you, Jillian? What are you up to?
Patreon is one thing I'm trying to spend more time, or I'm releasing some things from my work to give myself more time to build or support a online community through my Patreon. So that's like one way, and we do teachings there and different stuff. So it's nice for healer types who want more information, because I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but like I love to read about healing arts and all modalities and different concepts. So I really like to share that. But Patreon's a good space for us to be able to connect with that. It's not as public as YouTube's, but like keeps the space a little safer, or, you know, like, I'll say safer. Have a retreat coming up in Costa Rica in March. And just like my website, you know, and Instagram is where I post some updates and stuff like that. And I had a book come out too.
Exactly. So amazing. Well, that's what I've been saying about Jillian, how incredibly book smart they are. And it's just so special to be able to taste the curated fruits of all of Jillian's knowledge, and also to see this collaborative book effort that they have right now is so special. I'm going to be in Costa Rica. Is that okay? Yes, I say? Yes. My beloved and I are going to be enjoying our 20th anniversary in Costa Rica. So 2 of the 7 spots. I'm excited.
Someone else here too. I see her.
Oh, that's fun. I love that. That's amazing. So now we know that.
Hi, Howell.
At least, hi, Howell. Hi, buddy. Like that 3D work you're up to, bro. So awesome. Well, I'm happy to have you here. This is the most people that I've ever had on a live. So I know that has everything to do with Jillian shining their bright and gorgeous light. I hope that you enjoy it here. I'm very open to you subscribing, because my goal right now is to really make this a healthful space for me. And I'm kind of enjoying YouTube, that sort of vast feeling, the worldwide feeling, the feeling that the sketchbook is a little bit bigger. So I'm ready to make like big body art and like YouTube angels and spread out over here a little tiny bit more. And I'm really super excited to explore Patreon because I feel like that's where my work is going right now. After having a whole year of keeping a coven that was very private and confidential, I feel like I have the chops and the ability and the sort of spiritual musculature to hold that. And I'm just really, I'm open. I'm not making promises at this moment, but I'm really open.
2020 is coming. Yeah.
Super happy to have everyone here. I'm a contributor to the wonderful Sarah Faith Goddess Diener's book that is like one that's guided me in many ways. It's the 2020 Many Moons Lunar Planner. And in 2020, there's a full moon on Halloween night, and I'm the witch that's casting the spell. So that's available. I'll link it on this space. That's available right now through their site. And I have a link in my link tree on Instagram, and I'm busy and active over there every single day. So great to have everybody here.
Yeah,
Thanks for being here, Jillian.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend.
See you later. Thank you so much for being here. We love you. Bye.
So fun. Oh,